Chapter 2. The Lord and the Lost. Tahu wakes up with a snap, his entire body hurting from what must have been a massive impact, considering how far he fell after losing his grip on his Rahi dragon. His vision is blurry. He swears he can see many Gukkos flying around him.
Snap out of it, Tahu. You're a Toa. Toa don't hallucinate.
He looks around his vicinity. He's lucky. The staff he had ripped from the Rakshi that had attacked Takoro had landed only a few meters away, its vibrating blades sticking up from the ground. Tahu gets up, his legs having a hard time adjusting after the impact. Slowly, painfully, he makes his way over to the staff. It's stuck in the ground.
Come on. Is this a joke?
His frustration is what finally makes the staff give way, the blade sliding out of the dirt. Tahu looks over the weapon to make sure it isn't broken. The blade that hit the ground has only slightly bent from the sudden impact into rock-solid ground. A minor inconvenience at the moment.
Now then, where am I?
Tahu looks around, surveying his surroundings. The nature is frozen, ice pillars surrounding him on all sides. That's all he needs to know to make out that he has crash-landed in Ko-Utu.
Good job, Tahu. You're lost in the frigid neighborhood of Kopaka. Couldn't you have landed in Po or Onumetru? But no, you had to land here, in the coldest area of Mata Nui.
Tahu suddenly senses something watching him. He snaps around. But there's nothing. Just more snow and ice. But that feeling still persists. Something is looking at him, but it's hidden by the snowstorm. A booming voice suddenly rings out in Tahu's direction. A voice he's never heard before. You speak of worlds that do not exist. Tell me, where are we? Tahu is conflicted. He's both frustrated that he can't see the source of the voice, but he's also confused of what the voice is speaking of. It claims that his home is false, that it doesn't exist. There are myths, like Kitongu, the Rahi creature that Turaga Vakama talked about, but Mata Nui doesn't exist? That's ridiculous.
I'm Tahu, Toa of...
Tahu stops himself. He's no Toa. Not anymore. He betrayed the Toa when he killed Gali and ran off with the Mask of Time. But the others didn't understand his purpose. They didn't see the potential in the legendary mask if used against Makuta Teridax. The voice responds. Tahu, Toa of nothing. Is that who you are? A lost warrior with a broken past? Then perhaps we are not that different. The voice almost sounds happy. Tahu doesn't know how to feel about that. Is he just a Toa of nothing? Tahu looks around again. He swears he can see a pair of blue eyes looking back at him from within the storm.
Who are you?
The eyes look back at him. I've been asking myself that question. The tone of the voice that responds seems to be as lost as Tahu is.
What are you?
Tahu steps closer towards the eyes. Where I come from, they call me Demon, Dark Lord, Betrayer, but here, they call me God. A god? There are no gods here. The closest thing to a god is that monster, Tren Kron, that the great being left behind.
Are you a Makuta?
It could be, perhaps one survived the Sherating, when Teridax split the world in two, where all other Makuta faced their master and failed. Tahu suddenly spots the silhouette of the body that the voice belongs to. The body is mostly black and red, with silver armor covering it with sharp edges. A pair of wing-like structures on the back and a dark red spine running down from the back of the head. Speaking about the head, Tahu had only seen the face once before. This creature was wearing a mask similar to the Kanohi Krakan, the Mask of Shadows, Makuta Teridax's mask. If it's a Makuta these people desire, then that is what I will be. This is Drendor, disgraced Dark Lord of Karzun, taken by the Overlord Cyrax.